In the dark void of the cosmos, a whisper rises from beyond the stars. This whisper speaks in the language of the stars, an ancient warning, an echo reaching us from millions of years away. And the name of that whisper is the Dorsay. They are mysterious travelers from the depths of the Cassiopeia constellation, emerging from the Ottora and Endelemen-Nyada star systems. Only 1.5 meters tall, yet their eyes mirror the wisdom gathered since the dawn of the universe. Their faces resemble that of a bat, and their eyes are as deep as dark wells. With a single gaze, they remind you that you are staring into a universe that does not belong to you. They are not merely inhabitants of distant galaxies. They have visited Earth hundreds of times. They observed us, recorded us, tested us, and at times they hunted humans and other species. Because for them, hunting is not just a necessity. It is a measure of worth, a triumph, a display of power. Perhaps one night, as you looked up at the sky, you unknowingly met their gaze. Perhaps that shining point you thought was a star was in fact a metallic white Dorsay ship, and in that moment you were being watched without even realizing it. The existence of the Dorsay reminds us of a simple but striking truth. We are not alone in the universe. We have friends, but we also have hunters. And hunters do not play games. To them, we are nothing more than an opportunity. That is why knowing the Dorsay is not just curiosity. It is the very key to humanity's survival. Now think about it. Would you rather run away in fear or walk toward the truth in the light of wisdom? Because the story of the Dorsay is not only theirs, it is ours as well. To know them is to find our path through the darkness of the universe. And now, the door is opening. If you have the courage to listen to that ancient whisper from Cassiopeia, this journey begins with you. They stand no taller than 1.6 meters. They may look small, but don't be deceived. Their slender, delicate frames are in fact incredibly strong. Their faces resemble those of a bat. Their deep, jet-black eyes stare out at you from the darkness, and their gray-blue skin reflects the light as though it were forged in the cold void of space itself. Looking at them was like locking eyes with the night itself. Within their gaze lies the wisdom of billions of years. But not just wisdom. There is also the cold instinct of a hunter. That look teaches and unsettles you at the same time. It feels as though what stands before you is not merely a living being, but the dark memory of the universe itself. Know this? When you encounter the Dorsay, you do not meet an ordinary stranger. Every movement, every glance is meant to test you. When humanity faces them, we are truly facing our own fears. And that is why their physical presence is more than a form. It is a message. And that message is this: weakness is never forgiven. The unprepared become prey. As you look at the doors of their bodies, their faces, their eyes, remember this: they may appear small from the outside, but within them lies the oldest power of the cosmos. And that power could cross our path at any moment. So I ask you, when you stand before them, will you retreat in fear? Or will you face their gaze as one who knows the truth, as one who is prepared? Because this story is not only about the Dorsay, it is about the fate of humanity itself. And this journey begins right now. They come from the Ottora and Endelemen-Nyada star systems. At a time when human history had only just begun, their civilization had already reached its peak. Their species is at least 4 billion years old just. Think about that. When Earth was still a ball of fire, the Dorsay had already mastered the skies. Long before we learned to craft stone tools, they were building empires beyond the stars. Imagine this. When we were only beginning to build our first civilizations, they already carried the wisdom of billions of years. While we were building cities, they were traveling between galaxies. While we were only gazing at the night sky, they were looking back at us from beyond it. And now, their very existence shouts a single truth. Humanity must prepare not only for its own history, but for the history of the universe. They remind us of how small a fragment of time we truly are. For us, billions of years are unimaginable, but for the Dorsay, it is simply the natural flow of existence. And that is why knowing their story is essential to protecting our future. Either we open our eyes and face the truth, or we remain in the dark prey to be. The time to decide is now. Listening to the secrets of the Dorsay requires courage, but without courage, humanity can never become a true traveler of the cosmos. This is not just a story. It is a call. If you are ready to question humanity's place among the stars, then the story of the Dorsay begins. Now, the Dorsay have visited Earth at least 250 times. That light you saw in the night sky, perhaps it wasn't just an ordinary star. That shimmer you noticed could have been a message, traveling from thousands of light years away, and maybe without even realizing it, the gaze of the Dorsay passed right over you. They are not merely dwellers of the stars. They are the silent hunters of the sky. They are hunters. They hunt humans and other species. But for them, the hunt is not merely about feeding. Hunting, to the Dorsay, is a value, a ritual, a test. Just as a warrior fights for honor, the Dorsay live for the hunt. For them, the act of hunting is an art, a measure of strength. Now think about it. While for us humans, the sky is an innocent beauty, for the Dorsay, that same sky is a hunting ground, and we, in their eyes, we are nothing more than potential prey. This is why their presence is not simply a matter of curiosity. It is a warning sign for humanity. We can no longer close our eyes. Their traces are hidden in the skies, in our forests, and in the darkest chapters of history. They came 250 times. And every time, humanity did nothing. But what about their next arrival? Will we be ready? Or will we once again remain silent spectators, taking our place in their hunting grounds? Remember this: knowledge is power. Preparation is survival. Those who close their eyes become the first prey. Those who see the truth become the first to survive. The Dorsay's contact with Earth leaves us with only one choice. Either we learn the truth and grow stronger, or we remain silent figures in their hunting ground. The next time you look at the sky, remember, it may not only be the stars watching you. That shining point could be a Dorsay ship. That silence could be their breath. And those dark eyes might already be watching you. A new era is beginning for humanity. In this era, we will either be mere spectators or the authors of our own destiny, because the Dorsay are still here. And their story begins now. For them, hunting is not a simple necessity. It is a sacred ritual. When a Dorsay hunts, it is not merely to feed. It is to prove its strength. The hunt, in their eyes, is the measure of worth. To capture prey is like winning a war. And that is why, for them, every hunt is a victory. They hunt humans and other alien species alike. Because to them, prey is not just a victim. It is a test. In their gazi, we are measured by our fears our weaknesses, and our courage. And when the hunter's eyes pass over you, even for a moment, you are no longer an ordinary human. You have become their target, a subject of their trial. It is no coincidence that we are warned to stay away from the Dorsay, for they are not friends. They are hunters. And in the nature of a hunter, there is always this search for a new target. If you close your eyes, you will be prey. If you open them, you will see the hunter. And that is precisely why knowing their story is, for us, a matter of survival. The very existence of the Dorsay shouts a single truth. The universe is not filled only with allies, but with hunters as well, and humanity must decide where it stands against them. We will either remain silent victims in the dark, or we will be the generation that sees the light, gains knowledge, and prepares. The next time you look at the night sky, remember this: that shining point may not be just a star. It could be a Dorsay ship watching you, and that gaze has only one meaning. You are either ready, prey, or the one who will survive. But we must never forget. The story of the Dorsay shouts a single truth. The universe is not a garden filled only with friends. It is also a forest filled with hunters. And in that forest, survival belongs to those who know and to those who keep their eyes open. As humanity writes its own future, it cannot ignore this truth, for the sky is not merely a canvas painted with lights. The sky is also a stage. And on that stage, we may be the ones being watched, the ones being tested. The next time you look at the night sky, remember, that shining point may not be just a star. It may be a pair of eyes staring back at you. They are the Dorsay, deceptive in their small bodies, yet in their eyes lies the wisdom of billions of years and the cold instinct of a hunter. They are Yeri, and they are still watching. So what will we do? Hide in the dark, trembling in fear, or face the truth and write our own destiny? This story is not only theirs, it is humanity's story. The choice is ours. Will we be a silent prey, lost in the universe, or a species that writes its own future and dares to challenge the stars? And if one night, as you look at the sky, you feel your skin crawl, remember this: in that darkness, a pair of eyes may be watching you. They are the Dorsay, and they are still here. But the real question is, are you ready? If you enjoyed our video, we'd love for you to subscribe, share it with your friends, and support us for future content. May your light always shine.